Today, we're going to explore one of the most incredible pieces of biological machinery you will ever own. Seriously, it's a tool of immense power, and at the same time, delicate precision, and it's with you every single moment of your life. We're talking about your arm, and we are going to break down its absolutely brilliant engineering all the way from your shoulder to your fingertips.
But first, let me ask you a quick question. Just think for a second about all the gadgets, the devices, and the tools you have lying around. What's the most sophisticated, the most versatile, the most complex one of them all?
The answer has been right there with you your entire life. Your arm and your hand, they are an absolute marvel of natural engineering. They're capable of both brute force and the most delicate, precise movements. So let's explore the blueprint of this incredible machine. Our journey starts right where the arm begins, at the shoulder. Think of this as the foundation. It provides not only that incredible range of motion, but also all the critical infrastructure for everything happening downstream.
And that infrastructure, well, it all starts with a major blood vessel. Coming from near your first rib, the axillary artery is basically the main pipeline. It's the superhighway that supplies all that oxygen-rich blood to your entire arm.
Now, as this arterial highway travels further down your upper arm, it actually gets a new name, the brachial artery. It runs right alongside the humerus, that's the main bone of your upper arm, and this super close proximity is a really critical design feature.
And this quote right here brilliantly illustrates why that proximity matters so much. In an emergency, right, you can actually use the humerus bone as a hard backstop to press the artery against it on the inside of your arm to stop severe bleeding. It's like a built-in safety feature of our own anatomy. How cool is that? Okay, next stop on our tour, the elbow. And this is not just a simple hinge joint. Nope, it is a bustling intersection packed with critical structures, all passing through a very, very small space.
This busy little intersection has a name, the cubital fossa. It's that shallow depression on the inside of your bent elbow. And hey, if you've ever had blood drawn, you are already very familiar with this landmark, even if you didn't know its name.
And just look at what's packed into this tiny space. You've got the main artery, a major nerve, the powerful biceps tendon, and then this protective sheet of tissue layered right over the top. It's this dense collection of vital stuff that makes the area so important and, so useful for medical procedures.
All right, continuing our journey down the arm, we arrive at the wrist. And here, we find another critical and honestly even more crowded passageway, the carpal tunnel. And this is where things can sometimes go a little bit wrong. If you've ever woken up with a numb, tingling hand, or you've felt that weird weakness in your grip, you might have actually experienced the first signs of an issue in this very spot.
That issue is carpal tunnel syndrome. And it's not a problem with your whole hand, but a really specific one. The all-important median nerve is literally getting squeezed as it tries to pass through this tight little tunnel at your wrist.
So just how crowded is this tunnel? Get this, a total of 10 structures are crammed into this tiny space. 9 of those are the tendons that flex your fingers, and they all have to share the tunnel with one very important and very vulnerable traveler, the median nerve. So the process is a pretty simple and unfortunate chain reaction. You see, repetitive motion from things like typing all day, or other things that cause inflammation, can make those 9 tendons swell up, and as they expand, they leave less and less room in the tunnel. And eventually, they put pressure on the nerve. And the result is that classic tingling and weakness, especially in the thumb.
Now let's focus on the hand itself for a minute. Its incredible complexity also makes it kind of fragile. Sometimes all it takes is one small part failing to cause a really major problem. So, meet the scaphoid. It's one of the small carpal bones in your wrist, and it holds the really unfortunate title of being the one that breaks most often. This usually happens from that classic fall onto an outstretched hand. But the real danger here isn't just the break itself, it's the bone's poor blood supply. If it doesn't heal correctly, a part of the bone can actually die. That's a really serious complication known as avascular necrosis.
Here's another really common injury. Mallet finger is what happens when you just can't straighten the very last joint of your finger. It's often caused by a sudden blow, like a baseball hitting the tip of your finger. Ouch.
The mechanism is brutally simple. The impact forces the finger to bend so violently that the tendon that's supposed to straighten it is literally ripped away from its attachment point on the bone.
All right, for our final section, let's bring this all home. We've talked about arteries, bones, nerves, all this stuff. Now let's make a direct, physical connection to this incredible system we've just explored.
Remember that brachial artery from way up in the upper arm? Well, in the forearm, it splits into two main branches. On the pinky side, you've got the ulnar artery, a main supplier to the hand. And on the thumb side, you have the radial artery. Both are vital, but we're going to focus on the radial one for a very specific reason.
Okay, time to try this yourself. Look at the inside of your wrist, on the thumb side. Go ahead and flex your wrist a little bit, and you should see or feel a pretty prominent tendon pop up. That's your flexor carpi radialis tendon.
Now place 2 fingers just to the thumb side of that tendon. Press gently. Can you feel that? That steady, rhythmic beat?
That beat, that's your pulse, coming directly from the radial artery. It's a tangible, real link back through the entire system we've just journeyed through. It's a little reminder of the powerful, complex, and brilliant piece of engineering that is your arm.